Okay, 1902, good luck. So we've not played before, no head-to-head score there. Opponent 6,000 games, that's really, really good. How many in Blitz? Oh, 18, nearly 19,000 in Blitz, not many in Bullet. Goes a very attacking line. Okay, you can pretty much pre-move d5, but I'm actually going to go g6 because of this move. Go slightly different. I could still do d5. You can pretty much do it against everything that white plays. That kind of pushes me into it, so I'm going to do it now. Okay, so now this pawn I don't think is quite as effective there. Do I do this to really reinforce our knight up straight away? It doesn't matter. Potentially this, but I'm just going to prepare castling. My bishop still covers this. Okay, let's castle. And I'm still looking at e6 just to try and help solidify here. Obviously, I could try and play a move like this, but you can easily block and still castle. So there's no smothered mate risks right now. So let's just develop the knight. And it's a case of what do I want to do with this bishop? Develop the bishop and potentially trade and then e6, or do I go this way? I think I'm going to develop. See if we encourage a pawn push. Then I could always trade, and if queen goes, I've got knight in and I can take this bishop. This pawn might be a bit of a problem, but let's see. Could be the same principle if you move the queen then go here. Whoa, is that a move? Okay. Well, that for one might allow knight in. There could be some sort of tactics winning a pawn here. Knight in. Can you get away with taking is a question. Knight in, if you take, I presume I can just simply capture back and everything around my king looks fine. Then I'm hitting the knight, I'm hitting the bishop. I mean, I could spend a move with e6, but the opportunity might be lost. Let's take a risk and do it. If you take, there's going to be a pin issue, and we're still opening up an attack on the pawn. If you grab here, then I can either take the knight or I can try and grab this pawn thanks to this pin. I think anyway. e6 might have been just the more sensible approach, just cautious, steady does it. That's what I normally do. You know, just to try and avoid blundering this pawn push at the wrong moment. So yeah, but if I do e6, you might get development moves, and then this whole concept might just simply be a non-event. That's why I've risked going knight forward straight away. Normally, most of the time, I would have just said, let's be sensible, do e6, and then worry about it. Right, the knight has gone back. So now I assume I just do e6, and then at some point when I'm forced to trade, just trade off. Again, queen up could be a move, but you've got the bishop down. If I take now, I assume rook takes. So queen up, bishop down. I don't see what I'm getting. I'm just going to play pawn up. So it's maybe transpired into the same thing in effect. So the bishop's going to be going back this way. So I could do something like this. But again, I'm not sure quite what I'm gaining. So maybe pawn up. Yeah, that seems sensible. Try and just gain a bit of space here. Obviously, as soon as the bishop is attacked or everything starts to move out the way, I'll have to trade it now. I don't think I'll get away with dropping back. You never know, but I don't think so. So in principle, I'm just looking to push on here. So that has come. So if I go here, g4, the bishop's doomed. Now, I don't think I've got any other candidate moves, so I'm just going to trade there. And I'm going to try and push on and open things up on the queen side. Now, bishop back, do I allow capture as an idea, or do I just drop the knight back and try and reinforce this? Obviously, it's up to my opponent how they play their moves, and all we can do is react to them. Knight comes across to challenge my knight. This kind of feels like a mistake to me. Take, it's very bold. If I go this way, everything just collapses. Take now. It's very committal. I could try a pawn push immediately, but I'm leaning towards just take. Take, maybe queen up, but obviously there's nothing concrete there, but I think I'm going to take and just push on then. Try and create some sort of pawn weakness somehow, somewhere. And hope this doesn't blast my position open. It could do. If I have to take back, then this is undermined. But we're going to try and leave a pawn isolated if we can. Might not be able to, let's just see. Obviously I've got queen up at some point, but right now you can easily shift the rook or defend it in some way, shape or form. So not easy to see any concrete chances here. Yeah, bishops come up. So this is where my idea was to just take here to try and leave a backward pawn. But I can't easily push on now. Okay, queen up now. The rook can't actually run quite so far. Pawn up must be a mistake. I don't like that. What about knight back to go here? Just potentially to hit the 2. Knight back could be a move. There's no real obvious breakthrough. If you take, get an extra pawn temporarily here. I'm sure we'll get that back. I'm going to take here first and then maybe knight back to go here. Obviously right now if I push the pawn I'll just simply lose it, but we have a target, so can I stop it pushing on? So here takes knight over. I'm not sure I can. So I'm looking at this idea to get rid of that bishop. Okay, let's come back, try not to burn all the clock. We can always go back again. And then maybe queen up just to help guard this. At some point that pawn's going to fly forward, or it's just a backward pawn. And I'm down half a minute on the clock. Okay, rook over. I'm just going to go forward quite quickly because I can always redeploy the knight here. Threaten to swap the knight for the bishop. But if I get the knight here, it helps to guard this. Oh, he's gone back, so he's happy to swap. So it's opposite coloured bishops if I do it. I don't think there's any merit going here. Takes, obviously rook takes, but then there is still longer term targets, it feels like. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to develop. So hit the pawn, but I'm really just trying to develop my pieces. I'm not sure whether I need to leave this rook there and bring this one across. But this is always going to be an idea at some point, and when you take, this pawn is very weak. Again, bishop here could prompt a push into that. I guess you can easily defend it right now, but I'm not sure you should. I'm going to actually put the rook on the open file and potentially try and get forward, and with a view to this rook coming this way. I'm still at half a minute down on the clock. Right, offering a trade there. I'm wondering if bishop up might actually be a playable move now in view of that. If you take, I take and I get my rook developed with the same sort of idea. Rook here could allow bishop to come back here as well, but obviously right now you can push on. So I'm looking at going here to see if we can provoke a pawn push. Yeah, I'm going to do that, I think. Just try and provoke a pawn push. If you take, I'll take back with the rook, so I'll pre-move that. I'm just seeing if we can provoke a move like pawn up here. This might come at some point, like I say. It gives us a nice king's position, but it weakens our d pawn. I'll just pre-move there in case the rook's captured. But it's awkward for the queen to try and guard the pawn now, because then I can take the rook and the bishop has to move, and feels like we're making a little bit of progress. But it could be fine, it could be. Yeah, the queen has gone to guard. So now takes, the bishop will have to take. So I'm just looking at a simple move here. I wonder if queen up might be a move. Takes, takes, I'm not sure. I could take, bishop takes, and just simply activate the rook. Actually, that looks fine now. I'm going to try and activate my rook. My two opponent's going with the bishop. I don't know what they're thinking about there. Let's just come here. We're trying to put pressure on round the back if we can. Ultimately, they're the two obvious targets, the pawns, but we're just trying to infiltrate the position whilst hopefully keeping our own king safe. Hopefully, but any given moment, these pawns could start flying down the board. Mind you, any given moment, I guess the queen could start flying down the board as well. Not right now, of course, with the bishop where it is, but that sort of idea. Even rook up to attack the pawns could be useful here. Yeah, my opponent's been provoked into pushing, so I assume you want to go here. So is the quick rook up threatening to capture either pawn very useful now? Here? Take. Just grab the pawn. Feels alright, doesn't it? So I'm just looking at rook up. Simply threatening to capture. It feels like the defenses are getting a little bit overworked. If the queen somehow gets in, I can always block or step if I have to. This is the intended move, not this one. If you do this, you just push me back. It takes pressure off here, but it feels like you're not really breaking through. That's obviously a potential big problem. Take. Then I'm hoping I can get away with taking. Now here you're still in a pin. So can I do a move like this? Takes. So we lose a pawn, gain a pawn. Lose a pawn, sorry, lose a queen, gain a queen. So here, lose a pawn, gain a pawn. Lose a queen, gain a queen. The bishop and the pawns are undermined, and it feels like our king is very safe. So I like the look of e5 here. So I'm going to risk it. And even if I'm miscalculating now, I've still got time. Like if you play pawn takes, I've got check and win the bishop ideas. So that would be a blunder. I think actually queen here looks a stronger move, because I could check and grab the bishop. Yeah, so I mustn't play too quickly here. And if you do nothing, I'm threatening to simply push on. Maybe you might have to push this pawn down now. Then maybe I can just ignore it, push on and attack the rook. If I come back now, if you take, I can still take with the bishop. If you take here, I can check and still win the bishop, but you'd have the open F file. So gain a pawn, lose a bishop. Up, I'm not really gaining anything. I'm threatening just to capture this pawn, mind, aren't I? So bishop back. If you take, I've still got bishop takes. Just the F file is opened up. Yeah, that's no good. I think I kind of have to come back. I'm not sure where to. Actually, if I come here, I'm threatening the pawn immediately with an attack to the queen. So I'm going here to create an immediate threat. If you come here, obviously I might have to ignore it. You might plant your pawn. So there could be a way to break through, and I might be just getting checkmated, but I'm trying to create some quick pressure. You still need your queen to guard your bishop if you don't move it. Pawn up could be a move to chase the rook, and then my queen might get in if you get adventurous. Oh, it's taken. That I did not expect. I'm going to grab this pawn and hope I can work this one then. Maybe queen across, but then I can just grab here, I hope. Obviously, this is a big threat though. Okay, so if I play bishop down now, you can't take because of this pin, I don't think, but you can go here. So bishop down, pawn down. Takes, queen takes. So is that a problem? Bishop down, pawn down. You're threatening to take, and I can't take back. And queen here is no good, actually. Yeah, I might need to bail out here. Actually, what's wrong with queen across? Takes pressure off this, so bishop back. I'm going to go here to try and guard against this. A temporary threat to the pawn, and try and just watch out for pressure here. My bishop can't really escape now. I'm getting a bit low on time. I'm trying to stop this pawn push. I might even need rook back. I don't want to go passive though. So queen up I'm looking at just to stop this. Okay, it's gone there. So what if I go here now? Not easy, is it? Not easy. I'm going to go here to hit this pawn, but if you push, I've got a check. Actually, I don't have a check. I thought I had a check. I don't. I might have just blundered there. I'm threatening this, but if you go here, I might have to sack. If you take with a check, here, queen down is checkmate. Up. So if you push, I'm probably forced to take. So I might be just lost here now. I might have blundered this game away. Opponent's done very well. I've taken a risk and it hasn't worked. Okay. So can I actually take here first then? Pin the queen. Check. Up. And if you queen, my bishop covers. Take, queen takes, check. You must be fine, mustn't you? You must be fine. So I think I have to take and step up, I think. But now there is a threat to come in if my opponent ignores it. There's a threat to the bishop. Checks are both covered for one move. Queen here is covered for one move. But I'm still not half a minute down on the clock. But we do have two potential threats. Bishop takes, I might have to go on the attack with the queen when hoping that the rook can come in at some point on the second rank. Takes, takes, rook takes, and there must be a checkmate somewhere. So bishop takes, I can't take back, I'll have to check. Oh, he's gone with the rook. And that actually is a check. So clearly I have to take. You have to go with the queen. I have to run this way. I can't go there. Well, maybe I could have actually, because I could have blocked with a queen. Oh, I didn't take time to work that out. The corner, my queen covered the mate threat, and here I just block. And a back rank check I could block with a bishop as well. Okay, so I think I can go here now. You definitely can't trade the queen now. You're in trouble if you do. So I think I should be winning now, but I might be wrong. I think bishop takes was better than rook takes, but again, it wasn't as forcing. I just have to not blunder my rook, it's not guarded. Queen check, I just simply step up and there's no follow-up check. So queen check, I just go here. If you have to trade queen, it's just essentially over instantly. I should be able to stop the pawns quite easily, you would think. I don't know that, but you would think that. Again, check here. I just step up and eventually you're going to run out of checks. So I assume I just go here. And I don't see what follow-up you've got. I'm hitting the bishop, I'm hitting the pawn. I can always drop the rook back. I assume I'd collect the pawn. And then we threaten a dark square check. But you've got to create a check threat. And obviously watch out for my check. But now I can maybe even drop the bishop back. Just go ultra defensive now. Hit the queen, hit the pawn. And now we're a minute up on the clock, so we've got a little bit of time now. Right, so he's attacked the rook. So I could actually still drop the bishop back to hit the queen. But I assume if I take the pawn, what you're looking at. Bishop takes. Actually, I can just play rook here, can't I? And if you take either way, I've got check and mate. So rook here looks really strong. If you take with bishop or queen, I've just got check and mate, haven't I? So let's go here, hit the bishop. And we're threatening mate in 2. If you have to give up the queen, then... Okay, I'll lose a pawn, but I'm going to clean up, I would hope anyway. Yeah, we get the win, but a good effort by my opponent. I was probably losing there at some point, but let's check that with the engine. Pause it first so I don't accidentally start another game. The engine might say I was perfectly fine. It might say I was completely lost. Though there could be just one particular line I hadn't seen. But I have a feeling bishop takes pawn was better than rook takes pawn. But it might well be that neither of them actually worked. Yeah, see, there was a spike there, so I was losing. I was completely better, and I've blundered here. And then white has gone +6 nearly better from being -2.8. So I should have just played the rook up straight away, threatening a check and allowing the pawn capture. I should not have taken back, allowing the queen in, so I was all but lost taking that pawn. So what does it ultimately say? Yeah, because of these few mistakes, it's knocked the accuracy down 77% versus 62%. But looking on the graph, I'd played it pretty well, and I was essentially better most of the game. King up here, yeah, bishop takes was correct, and it's winning for white. So bishop takes was the correct move. Yep, so you can take your time when you go through these. The engine says I've actually just got to give up a clean rook there, so I'm essentially lost. So you can't take back because there'll be a forced mate. And then you just got to give up the rook. Why you have to give up the rook like that, I don't know. Why does that make a difference? That's odd, isn't it? It says give up the rook to get the bishop back instead of just playing the queen straight here. Oh, maybe it's because of there's a rook check. So you need to deflect the bishop that way, but you're essentially lost. So I've made that one losing blunder, but we got away with it. So another win.